Hello and welcome to Popmii Factory. Today I will be showing you how to upload your 3D experience to our platform. Let's get started. First we will go into templates, then upload your template. Here you can find all the templates that you have already created and modify them if necessary. There is also a Popmii documentation button where you can find all the information about how to create a 3D experience, so don't hesitate to check it out. So, to upload your template, you first need to choose the name of your project as well as the description. The next step is to choose the category which your project belongs to. Make sure to publish the template in My Templates. You can add it to the New category as well if you'd like. Remember to add your email address as a user of this template, as well as the email of everyone else that you would like to share your template with. Let's proceed with the creation of the template. First, you will need to add a version. Choose the language and the name of the version that will be displayed to all the users. Here you can upload the thumbnail of your template. Once you have that done, remember to validate the template by checking the default box on the previous page. You can add more versions of different languages or duplicate the ones that you've already created to modify the languages later on. Let's proceed. I would recommend to use the option No Placeholder with those exact settings 00-6. Now let's get started with the main part, which is the 3D experience itself. We will need the GLB file of your 3D experience as well as the JSON lighting for the light setup that isn't included in the GLB file, and an environment map. The tone mapping, we can leave it at 1, though you can modify it later on to adjust the brightness of your experience. Here you can choose the 3D view as background color or image. I'm going to go with the image for this one. Then, as you can see in the viewer, we can immediately see the results. It looks pretty nice, but as you can see, nothing is happening when I click on the gift. That's because we need to add interactions in 3D parameters. First click, add a parameter. We will now add the first interaction. Click animation to open the gift. Choose the title and the description that will help you navigate through all the parameters later on. Here you have to write the name of the geometry that will launch the animation. Then you have to enter 2 groups of animation included in your GLB file, the intro that will make the transition and the idle one that will be played in a loop. Always remember, the second one has to be in a loop, so make sure that it's a smooth loop without glitching. Now, as you can see, if we test it out in our 3D viewer, we can open the gift. There is still a lot of things missing. There is no text, there is no image, and no colors. So let's make sure to add that in. We are going to start with the text. Once again, title, description. Now the geometry that the text will be displayed on. I would advise you to keep your Blender or Maya scene open to copy-paste the names of the meshes. Make sure to click on the B2B access button so that the users will be able to enter their own text. Here you can choose the background color or the transparent background, but I'm going to go with the black background and the golden color of the text for this one. I will enter an example message just so the user will know where the text is in the 3D experience. And here you can choose the font. I'm going to go with Satisfy. For the ratio, keep it at 1. That's what works the best. Then let's add the color. This is the color parameter that will allow the user to change the color of the models within the 3D experience. I already prepared my list of all the 3D meshes that I want to change the color of. So make sure to write down the list as well. No spaces, just commas. I'm going to go with the golden color once again. Remember, B2B access checked so that the user is able to modify it. Let's proceed to the next one, which is image 1. As you saw next to the frame with the Happy New Year wishes, there was a small image. Geometry name, the name of the mesh that will be displaying the image, type, image. Don't forget to check the B2B access box to make sure that the user is able to fill in their own image. Now the form, it's an irregular one, so I'm just going to go with the rectangle and enter in the maximum length and height of the form that I created in Maya. If we just refresh the page and go into the 3D experience, we will be able to see in the viewer all of the changes we just added in. We can not only click on the box to open it, but we can see all the new colors added in, as well as the Happy New Year text. The image is still the same because we didn't add any in, but the user is now able to add it. As you can see, the video button still does not work. So let's proceed to add the last part of our experience, the video. Now the geometry here is the geometry that is the button that will start the animation and the video. So once again, the intro animation, that will be the transition, and the animation loop, which is the idle animation during which the video will be played. Get to check the B2B axis as always, and then let's just choose the length and the height of our video. It's a horizontal one, so let's just go with those basic numbers. Now the geometry name at the bottom is the geometry that will display the video. Let's save that and add our last button in, which is the email address for the button in the last part of the experience, which is contact us. So once again, title, description, the geometry, which is the geometry of the button, type, text, email, and the text, we leave it open, B2B access checked, so that the user will be able to add their own email address. Now if we go into templates, my template, we will be able to see in the gift category the project one that we just created. We can preview it or use the template directly. Here just choose the name of the experience, and there you go. All the parameters that we set up before are right here for the user to be able to personalize their experience as much as they want. So I'm just gonna change the color. And as you can see, the color has already changed, which means that the template is working and you can now share it with your team members and clients so that they